It's your boy, comedian Edwin-Douglas, and you're on your Mike and Soul Radio Talk Show. That's right. We have a very, very special episode today, tonight, tomorrow, and we will always be on demand. And now, before we bring in our guest, we have another kind of guest, and he used to be my co-host, and today he is a co-host guest. And ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for the one and only Blue Dan Man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing wonderful, Brother Douglas. Good to be on your show today, man.
Okay, all right. And then also, we can't forget the one and only, the original co-host. He's my DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't wait. I really could not sleep because she don't realize that how much I really appreciate her to be on the show today as a special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, she is an executive director at First Choice Social Services, and please welcome the one and only Bridget O Neal. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of your show.
You're more than welcome because I had to invite you, and before we really get in deep details about something very special thing happened to you, and it's elevating the thing that you do. But before we do that, first I want to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of the special event that we had last year, allowing me to be a part of the fundraising event, and I enjoyed myself doing the stand-up comedy. And thank you.
Well, we were so honored to have you to be our guest for that evening, and it was so much fun, and people are still talking about how funny you were, and are we going to do it again? And so, of course, I'm going to have to talk to you about maybe later on this year if we can do it, and hopefully, since the pandemic, since Texas is opening back up, hopefully we can do something in person.
We will. And the answer is to everyone who asked you that is yes, because we are going to do what? A movie with you. Yes, the answer is yes. We're going to do a movie. Not no get one camera and a cell phone. No. We're talking about a production film movie. And we will sit down and talk about this possibly next month when we all get together. Yes. All right. Let's do this. Before we go into what you do and what you're presenting and how great how wonderful things are doing around you, tell everyone when you was in high school and you graduated from high school, you said, I am going to become what?
Actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know at that time, but I knew I wanted to help people. And so I knew I was going to college. And when I got in college is when I think my first semester I was there, I knew that business was not it, that I didn't want to major in business. So then I went and spoke with my academic advisor, and they talked to me about social work. So when I went to East Texas State University, and that's where I majored in social work.
Now, what school you went to? I'm sorry, I missed that.
East Texas State University.
So it was East Texas State University back in the day, which I went to West Texas State University, and we're now West Texas A&M University.
Yes.
And y'all used to be East Texas State University, and it's now Texas A&M Commerce.
Commerce. Yes.
So what made you go to, back in the day, East Texas State University?
My aunt, she graduated from East Texas State, and she also graduated from North Texas. But with her bachelor's degree, she went to East Texas State, and she was telling me what a great school that was, and that it wasn't too far from Dallas, and she thought it would be a great opportunity for me to attend that university, and I was glad that I did. I had a wonderful time, met wonderful people that I'm still friends with now. Even my roommate there, she's my sorority sister, and so we've been knowing each other since we were 17 years old. That's when I actually started college at 17.
Now, you said sorority sister?
Yes.
And part of the Divine Nine?
Of course.
And who are y'all?
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
All right. Okay. You know what, Miss Bridget, I did not know that. I did not know you might part of the Divine Nine family. Okay. No wonder that we were able to get along through the spirit. All right. Okay. Yo. Yes. I guess last week is an AKA. Yes. Okay. That's yes. Okay. So who inspired you to go in that direction?
Well, it was the ladies on the campus. When I was at East Texas, I saw the ladies on the campus, and I connected with them. I saw all the great things that they were doing on the campus, and just their character, their reputation around the campus at that time, and it was no other. It was no other.
Okay. And now let's get down to business. Thank you. Great to hear, great to know. AKA East Texas State University is now known as Texas A&M Commerce. It's all good. And let's get down to business. Tell everyone about as an executive director for First Choice Social Services. Give us a little detail.
Okay. Not only am I the executive director, but I'm also the founder of First Choice Social Services, and that came about in 2013. I separated from my other job that I had been there for a long time, and it was time. And I decided that I wanted to do something different. Well, different in the respect of being able to make my own decisions and being able to implement programs that I know would benefit people of color. And I took a leap of faith, like other people have said. I'm sure you've heard them say that. And truly, indeed, I did. And I had the support of my husband, my father, even past coworkers that I've worked with, and they encouraged me and said, you can do this. Of course, I prayed over it, got my answer, and we're now 7.5 years old. We'll be 8 years September 27th.
Wow.
Yes, wow. Yes, it has been a great experience.
Okay, so speaking of the services, if you don't mind, could you tell us the kind of services that you guys are presenting and opening doors to?
Sure. So with First Choice Social Services, our mission is to be the first choice in social services to provide treatment for families affected by domestic violence, substance abuse, and teen homelessness. Like I said, we are a nonprofit organization, and with us working with the offenders of domestic violence. And oftentimes you don't hear a lot of agencies working. When we say domestic violence, everyone think of victim services. We actually work with the offenders in providing group treatment for them. We are an accredited agency through the state of Texas, and our program is 24 weeks for the offender, okay? So majority of our clients are men. However, we do have women that have also used violence against men, and they're in the program, as well as the LGBTQ community. Also, we provide services. We also do substance abuse, outpatient. We have marijuana intervention programs, drug offender education program. We also do parenting. We do theft intervention and prevention. We do the alcohol and drug assessments. And we have case management services, because many of our clients, while they come here for those particular services, however, once we begin to dig deeper into some of the reasons and causes for them to be in our program, then there are some other wraparound services that they're needing, such as clothing, food, even job readiness training. They're looking for that. We also was fortunate enough to do the COVID-19. When it happened, we were able to give some PPE equipment, face masks, hand sanitizer. We had gotten a in-kind donation from the Tito company, and they gave us some hand sanitizer. We got some masks from the Exxon Corporation. We've also we're a part of partnership. We got a grant from the State Fair of Texas. We've gotten grants from Communities Foundation of Texas, as well as United Way. So we are very much been blessed, and throughout our time as an agency. And then also, let me not forget that we also received and have been pretty much adopted, if you will, by the Lindenberg Family Fund. And they saw the great work that we were doing, and they wanted to partner with an agency that provided the type of social services that we did. And we're located at the Martin Luther King Center, as well as we have an office on Stemmons Freeway, and we provide services all over the Dallas Metroplex, as well as Ellis County, Hunt County, Kaufman County, Collin County. So we provide services all over. But they saw us, recognized the work we were doing, and wanted to partner with us. And basically, they've adopted us. They've given us funding, and they've also helped with just doing some marketing pieces for the agency. So we've been very, very blessed in that area.
Okay. Boudin, you have a couple of questions. Go ahead.
Well, how old you was when you were thinking about helping people?
I started, believe it or not, I think I knew when I was about 9 or 10 years old. We came from we came from a large family, and so the type where you have your cousins with you, and some of you and your cousins live together with your mom and your aunts and your grandmother. And so I just remember my mom, my cousin that lived with me, she would say, y'all need to take care of each other. Make sure you take care of each other. And I just became that person that kind of helped the younger cousins. While I had older cousins looking out for me as well, but I was the one that was responsible for helping the younger cousins. And I just remember even friends in high school would come to me with boyfriend issues, or if I saw someone, back then it wasn't called bullying, but basically being made fun of or being teased. When I was in high school, I would take up makeup for them. And so I knew that I had a place for people that maybe couldn't defend themselves or just needed some help. But, I also was looking at money, and I was like, oh, well, I can go to college and do business. And that just wasn't in my makeup. I just could not do the math.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Go ahead, Boudin. Get one more.
Yes. We need more women and people like you, and I'm looking forward to you maybe training some people to be like you. Would you do that?
Of course. I have. I work with interns now from Eastfield, from Texas A&M Commerce, and they come and, of course, they shadow me for their internship or their practicum. So I am definitely modeling the behavior and modeling what I'm doing to teach other young ladies or men to do the same thing that I'm doing.
Okay.
All right.
Now, I heard you said you guys have services in the open door for those individuals who alcoholic, trying to come clean and sober. Do you guys invite volunteer individuals who may have experiences or an experiment to maybe motivate or do some volunteer work they can help out? Do you guys invite people to do that?
We do. Of course, it's bound by confidentiality.
Hello, you there, Bridget?
And speak on their addiction and how they've recovered from it and how they are working their program. And that's always a good thing because, of course, with substance abuse, you do have at times relapse. And so it's good to have someone as a partner, as your sponsor, to kind of help you and for you to be able to see there is an end and I can beat this.
Now, what about when I say con artists? I'm using another word. A person who lie all the time that need help. Will y'all accept them people too?
No, that's kind of out of our scope.
God, because I got one here that worked with me. That's Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben. Why you want to put me out like that, Mr. Douglas? Well, you lie. Boudin knows he lie all the time. Boudin, tell him.
All the time.
All the time. I'm looking for a program that will accept con artists. Now he don't do no technologies and he don't do no hacking. The problem that I have was he just lie all the time. He can't help. He just lie all the time. And I thought maybe you guys may have services that you can open a door and you can just drop them off, or maybe somebody could give them some counseling. So. Okay. I thought I was going to start and change his life. So, okay, we joking, kid, but he's a good man. So, how often you guys have your annual event when, I don't want to use the word fundraiser, but when going out, reaching out in the community and you want people to take the time out and donate, how many annual events that you guys have every year?
We have at least 3 that we do. We have one that typically, is kind of ongoing. We always have on our website the donation page. So we accept donations all the time. But as far as events, we typically have at least 3 events once a quarter. And our main event is the Women's Nonprofit Leadership Luncheon. And so that one is our signature event. that we have once a year that we get a celebrity type speaker to come in and be our keynote speaker. In the past, we've had Royce West's wife, Miss Carol West. We've had Deborah Haynes, which is Dr. Freddie Haynes' wife, and he actually came to the luncheon as well. So we've had some naming. We had she was at that particular time, Faye Johnson. She was the district attorney for Dallas at that time when she came, and she was our keynote speaker. So we've had several great keynote speakers to come, and that's our signature event where we during that time that we have our luncheon, we also pay honor to some of our community leaders, and we call them sheroes and heroes, and we pay honor to them, and we normally nominate a organization as well as an individual to present an award to for their work in the community and making a difference. So.
Wow. Great. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick music break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a special acknowledgement and award that you received not too long ago, and also much more. I don't nobody go nowhere because you on your mic and Soul Radio Talk Show.
Shoulder. I thought that it would be easier than this. I thought my heart had grown colder. But the warmth of your kiss I can't dismiss. Though my past has left me bruised, I ain't hiding from the truth. When the truth won't let me lie right next to you. But it's holding on, and it's holding strong. Even though I tried to make it play the part, but I can't fake it. It keeps holding on, and it's holding strong. Even though I tried to break it, heaven knows that I can't shake it. Holding on, holding on. I've seen times that were harder. I remember the taste of bitterness. Won't you help me, my Father? Help me fall in the love that I have missed. Though my past has left me bruised, I ain't hiding from the truth. When the truth won't let me lie right next to you. But it's holding on, and it's holding strong. Even though I tried to make it play the part, but I can't fake it. It keeps holding on, and it's holding strong. Even though I tried to break it, heaven knows that I can't shake it. Holding on, girl. I'm holding on, holding on, yeah.
All right, we're back on your Mike and Soul Radio Talk Show. I'm your host, comedian Edwin-Douglas, right along with my DJ sidekick, with special co-host today, the one and only, the Boudin Man, and you're listening to a special episode, the one and only Miss Bridget O Neal. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. O'Neal. I had to put that in there. You know how silly I am, Miss AK. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's talk about the special achievement acknowledgement award that you received. You ready, Mr. Boudin? One of the top. She is, not was, will be. She is one of the top 50 entrepreneur women to watch, notified and specialized and acknowledged by Success Sisters magazine. Yes, the founder of the First Choice Social Services Community Partnership. I know who she is, but I'm gonna let you tell everybody who she is, and then after that, tell everyone how you feel when you got the news that you are being selected as one of the top 50th businesswoman. I'm going to say in the country.
Well, thank you. Actually, it was such an honor. I got the call from Jordy Bostock, and she's a friend of mine, and I didn't really, we hadn't talked in a while though, and I knew about the magazine, and she's also doing a show, so I knew about all those things, and so she sent me a call and said, hey, I need you to do this, and she never told me what it was for, and so I did it. I did what she asked me to do. Was obedient. When people ask you to do something, you just go, okay, when and where. And so I did what she told me to do, and next thing I knew, she said that I was one of 50 women, entrepreneur women, to watch in 2021. So you talk about such an honor to even be recognized like that. You know, when you constantly working in your passion, what you love to do, and you don't really see it as work. So when someone else sees what you're doing and sees it as something that is helping, humanity, and they recognize that and then give you an honor for that, it was such a blessing, and I was so honored by that. And just, I mean, I'm still like, me? It's just in awe that someone would really recognize the work that we're doing. So I'm very humbled by it all.
Boudin, go ahead. Since you feel like you may know Miss O'Neal, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very proud of this sister. She got it going on, and keep up the good work. Don't stop.
Thank you.
So, is there anything you want to ask, Mr. Boudin?
Well, now, do you have any children that involved in your program, or what?
Our teams, because we do work with the offenders. However, of course, the men, they have partners and children, and we call the wives and ex-girlfriends and girlfriends partners. Okay, so when you hear me talk about partner, that's what I mean. And they do have teen kids that we do talk to, and that we can provide services for them as well. We do refer them out, though, to some of the other agencies that provide strictly children's services, but we will work with children as through resources, referral services for them as well. We are going to in the future, because we're having all of our fundraising, we're wanting to open a 25-bed facility for children that are aging out of foster care. And so many people talk about, wow, you're doing this, you're doing that. But what we do know is that the children that are in foster care are products of domestic violence. So when you have domestic violence, you have substance abuse, you inevitably will have some children that have been displaced based on the actions of their parents, and so they are ending up in foster care. And if they are not adopted out, then these children are ending up on the streets. And so we're wanting to help with that by providing this service in this residential facility for these children. So it definitely connects.
All right.
Okay. Speaking of volunteer kids, have you had anyone in the program that you guys provide services? I want to use the word they received healing and cure and turn their lives around. Have anyone had that experience and they came back and set great example for others that came out of your program? Did they come back to help others?
Oh, yes, definitely. We have a program, and it's for men that have completed the BIP, what we call the Domestic Violence Treatment Program. For the men, it's called BIP, Battering Intervention and Prevention Program. And so we've had men supporting men's nonviolence. That's the other program that once they complete the required program, and then they want to come back and help other men that had to go through it, then they can volunteer through that program, the men supporting men's nonviolence. And we've actually had a young man that came through the program. He completed the program, and he was so impressed with what we did that he wanted to continue to help. And so I told him he would have to work with me for 6 months and to volunteer his time, to be on time, to attend the group, and look at it from a different perspective. Because the first time he came through as a client, now he went through as a facilitator. And so he did volunteer his 6 months, did well, did not use violence anymore. And at that point, I hired him part-time to be a facilitator. And you talk about a dynamic person and how he just, the men really understood where he was coming from. He made a great difference in the lives of those men that basically, on some level, he also ended up mentoring at some point. He's also a great poet, spoken word artist.
I met him. That's the one that hosted the event?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes,
wow. Amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing. So, do you guys have individual who, let's say, was married and became an alcoholic? Let's say he or she was put out and became homeless. Are they eligible to be a part of your program? Because alcoholism and homeless, is that two different things, or both? I'm going to say both issues are eligible to be a part of your program.
Okay. So, in the sense, no. because we do work with the substance abuse part. However, the residential services are for teens, and they strictly for teens that are aging out of foster care. So we do not have a residential, for just an open residential facility for any age. Those teens are 16 to 21. Now, if we did have a situation like that where he needed to go into some type of service or homeless shelter, we do have partners that we connect with. Yes, and we
so y'all do have. I call it the connector that can. You guys are the connector, but y'all have the connection for them to get results. Okay, gotcha. Partner.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Beautiful.
Because the reason why I asked you that, and I gave you my word, I want to work very closely with you guys. No, I've been homeless, but I've been around people who had alcoholism, they've had drugs, they've been abused, domestic violence. I've been around all that, doing me being homeless, and I like to ask God to allow me to someday to step in and motivate or speak on, because the Holy Spirit work with all of them. Okay,
that's right.
And the Holy Spirit work with all of these what I call diseases that people carry on, and they're not to be talked down to, because everyone. Each individual needs to recognize there's still hope. Because some people give up or gave up on God because the situation, whatever made them do the drugs or drink and become an alcoholic, to be abusive, to be abused, because there's men also being abused by women. Okay, so it works both sides. So hopefully we can talk off the air. And once I sit down and ask what you guys have, I'd like to come in and speak. No, just straight from the heart. No money involved. None of that. Just come in and speak on. There is a Holy Spirit that can guide you in the right direction, regardless of what your case may be. So
okay.
Good.
Yes, we would love to have you.
Huh?
I say yes. That would be awesome.
Okay, great. On this show here, I ask all my guests, but I'm gonna be very careful how I ask this, and if you don't mind, could you tell all of us your trial and tribulation in the business, not personally, but in the business, as you branding or have been branding what you and your family and your staff have built, what you guys have today. Tell us what are some of the trials and tribulations that you have gone through in the business that you're doing today.
Okay. Some of the trials and tribulations definitely have been with time. When you start a business, I didn't realize this, obviously, but when I started this, I didn't realize how much time it took of me, okay? And one of the things that I vowed when I did start the business was that I was not going to work on a Sunday, and I have stayed true to that. But I do work late nights, when my staff, when my family is asleep, then I'm up to 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning working 5-6 days a week. Working those long hours, especially at the beginning. And then as things over time, it has slowed up just a little bit, but there is always those times when you're having to write grants and you have in different reports that's due. You do still have to stay up late to do that. The other piece, along with time, because you're also taking time away from your family. I have a set of twin girls that are 17, and my son is 13, and I'm married, my husband. So just finding that time balance to work with them or be with them as well. And then money. Money is also, because we're talking nonprofit, and so when you start your business, you need to have some capital up front, but then also you need to be able to have some sustainable money as well. So that's always a concern for a nonprofit agency, is to be able to make your payroll, and that in payroll also includes you, and being able to continue to provide those services, because there are some clients that just don't have it. And so even though they're court ordered, or they on probation, parole, CPS have sent them there, they have to do it. And if they don't have the money to do it, then you have, instead, at least for our agency, we are not going to turn them away. We'll try to work something out with them. But there have been times where I've had clients not pay for the first 8 weeks of their program. And I know that I always say I'll get it back on the back end. And typically that is what happens, is that, I'll get a windfall, I get a blessing, someone will donate out of the blue. And that's where that comes from, because you have to give back. And so I always give back, give front also.
Right.
I know this is my passion. This is where God led me. So I am definitely in a good place to do that. Other challenges have been, not everybody is happy for you, okay? So there have been some people that have tried to jeopardize or try to sabotage. And you're supposed to pray for those people, and you just keep going. And so fortunately for me, it has not been to our detriment, okay? And so, but you just know that happens, and you just make sure you have some liability insurance if you need it, or when you need it, shall I say. And I think that has really been the 3 trials and tribulations that we've really gone through, and that's a blessing right there.
It is, and for those who just not tuning in, you're listening to the one and only Miss Bridget O Neal. She is the founder, First Choice Social Services, and as I speak on that, if you have been listening to the interview, the words that come out of her mouth, who she is, and what God made her to be. As you heard her say that she was introduced by her aunt, a leader in leadership, when she went to college. She continued to follow the leader as she was being obedient to the Holy Spirit, even though she really did not know exactly what she was going to become. Because of her faithfulness, God revealed to her its time. She accepted her gift. She appreciates the fact that who God surrounded her with people who need help. The help that she received was from her mother, father, kinfolk, other women, a.k.a. because she was groomed into leadership. And when God called her listen to this. When God called her, she accepted her call. Not the pulpit, not TV, but social services, because she was groomed into the leadership. So the people that surrounded in her foundation, God called the most qualified, but God also called the most obedient to make her ministry successful.
Yes.
She allowed God to continue to do all the work and hire the people through the people that who need healing. I met the young man. I performed with the young man. The young man introduced me before I performed. The fact and proof is there what Miss Bridget is doing. Is being obedient to God, letting God use her. And you can hear it in her voice. Sweet as she can be. But at the same time as she speaks, ladies and gentlemen, her trials and tribulations, because there were some haters, because someone was jealous, because she didn't look like Oprah Winfrey, because for whatever reason, they tried to be what they call a distraction. See, when God's hand is in it, ladies and gentlemen, you can't stop it, you can't block it, because God's going to keep rocking it. It's that
right. Yes,
That's right. That's right.
Oh, wow. Before we let you go, see, I didn't know what I was going to say. That I swear to God, that Holy Spirit work on this show, because this is your Mike and Soul Radio Talk Show, and the soul has been fed. That's how God just show up. When He show up, He's going to show out. That's what He does.
Right.
Well, before we let you go, tell everyone what you got coming up, what is happening, if they need to contact you, if they have any of these situations maybe going on, the service that you are providing for help and healing. Go right ahead. The mic is yours.
Okay. So, again, you can reach us at 972-268-2538. Again, 972-268-2538. Or you can also contact us through our website at firstchoicesocialservices.org. O-R-G. First Choice Social Services with an S.org. We are coming up on a pledge drive, actually, and that's going to be our fundraiser, because while Texas is opening back up, but there's a lot of people that are not ready to go back in person. So we're going to have a pledge drive beginning in the month of July, and that's going to run from July to September, and there will be more information coming out about our pledge drive, but at that time you will be able to you can still make donations now at any time by going to our website at firstchoicesocialservices.org, but if you're going to wait to a special time, it would be in July, where we will have our pledge drive during that time. And so you can reach us again at 972-268-2538. And thank you again for having me, Edwin. This has been wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, more than welcome. Buddha, anything you want to say? Then I'm going to let Ben say what he has to say. And go ahead, guys. Go ahead, Buddha.
Well, one thing I want to say, like she was saying, Bridget was saying, we opening back up. So what I need people to do is pray, fast, and repent, and God will remove this COVID-19, because He got the power to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
And go ahead, Uncle Ben, Miss Bridget. If I become an alcoholic on purpose, you think I'll be eligible to be in your program? Because you sound so sweet, Uncle Ben.
Sure you can, Uncle Ben, but you know what? You can come to my agency and volunteer your time. You don't have to be an alcoholic.
Uncle Ben, okay.
Uncle Ben, a cold man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful spirit inside of the one and only Miss Bridget O Neal. And guys, we will always be on demand. If you missed this episode, it's going to always be there today, tomorrow, and forever on iheart-radio, Spotify, Spreaker. Also, on every social media, which she will share, and plus Twitter and LinkedIn, email and text, Apple Podcasts. Yes, and we are all over the place. Until next time, you are on Your Mic and Soul with your host, comedian Edwin-Douglas, with the DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben, with the special co-host, the one and only Mr. Boudin, and of course, the lovely, fantastic, AKA Miss Bridget O Neal. Until next time, peace, and may God bless y'all.
All right.
From the top of the world, hey girl, it's a matter of fact. I think that you're amazing. You fit the fundamental parts of me, and girl, we should never look back. I only want the best for you, and I respect everything that you've been through. Sugar, that's the way it should be. I'll never try to change who you are. Take a look around you. Tell me, baby, can't you see that I loved you right from the start?
Hello.